The second lockdown arrives in England in just 3 days. This means it's time for one last spree at HMV. Things are so unpredictable at the moment that this could be my last chance to shop at HMV this year, or God forbid, ever. So let's go in and have a look. Before we enter the store though, let me show you my Doctor Who DVD and Blu-ray collection back home. First of all, they're not in broadcast order before anybody says anything. I simply haven't had time. But at the end of this video, I'm going to show you the new shelves arrangement incorporating the new stuff that I buy in HMV. I'll also show you my favourite thing I've bought, and I want to hear your favourite thing that I've bought too. So do stay till the end. Right, sanitize the hands. And then we're in. Oh yeah, here we are at the Doctor Who section. Look at all this lovely physical media of classic Doctor Who. Now I'm going to buy quite a lot of this stuff, then I'm going to take it home and show you what I've bought. My amazing backers at Patreon will also get to see the other stuff that I buy, including horror Blu-rays in a special extended version of this video. But for now, in this YouTube version, let's get this Doctor Who stuff home and take a look through it. Alright then, it's time to see what's in these bags. It's like Christmas, it's like early Christmas in the Arnott household. I've got a couple of box sets here, I'm going to leave them till last. Now these were all pretty much, I think, in the 2 for £10 sale at HMV. There was a bit of confusion as to which releases actually fitted that deal, but in the end I managed to get an even number of DVDs in my basket. Let's have a look. Yeah, I'm quite surprised that I didn't already have this one. You'd think that I would. And by the way, you're probably confused as to why I don't have so many of these already. Over the years as a journalist, when these things were coming out, I would get sent the promo disc, you know, the check disc. It's like a sort of a plain disc that's just basically the DVD in a plain white sleeve. And so I basically have all the releases, but of course it's not the same without the sleeve and the box and, yeah, the lovely silver box, yeah. And you know, when you want to support HMV as well before lockdown and kind of get the endorphin rush of shopping and entertain your YouTube viewers, yes, this was before I actually started watching Doctor Who, so I don't have the sort of nostalgic connection to this one that, you know, was quite as powerful as something like, you know, The Deadly Assassin, which I very much watched at the time. But Zygons are fantastic, aren't they? Isn't it bizarre that they didn't come back until after the new millennium? Yeah. The Mark of the Rani. Now I must admit this may have been a last minute choice when I was thinking, oh, what else should I have? This may not have been a priority for me to buy, but you know, come on, it's got Kate O'Mara and Anthony Ainley, who I love, and I like Colin Baker's Doctor too. Gotta have it, might as well bulk out the Colin Baker section, where's the harm? Frontios, yes, Frontios. I can't remember too much about this. The main thing I remember about this is dead people sort of rolling around in on trolleys of some description. And of course the tractators as well. Yeah, it's a lovely bit of Davison era stuff, isn't it? With Turlough, and who else is in this? Is it? Oh, Tegan's in it as well. Yeah, a bit of Christopher Bidmead madness, always a pleasure. Day of the Daleks, and of course this was, I remember this as being the first release to really go to town on creating a new version of the original story, because I mean there were specially shot sequences and brand new effects and new Dalek voices, and they really kind of made that battle sequence so much more dramatic. I haven't seen Day of the Daleks that much over the years, so I think I will definitely go back and have a look at that. These BBFC guidelines really don't do releases many favours. Contains mild violence. Yes, can't beat a bit of mild violence for entertainment. What next? There's still several left. Another bit of Sixth Doctor action with time lapse. Now, I know that time lapse gets a very, very bad rap, but it does have a really colourful wall in it. Yeah, it's got a lovely multicoloured wall. And I, for one, am looking forward to seeing that wall again. And I also remember actually a really cool sequence in which an android just sort of explodes and sets on fire. Yeah. Yeah, it's about time I had a look back at this. Make sure you tell me what you think of these releases down in comments. Are any of the stories that I've bought absolutely not worth buying and I've wasted my time? And which ones do you love? Especially which ones do you love? And which is your favourite from all of these that I've bought? The Ambassadors of Death. Yeah, a bit of a surprise that I didn't have this one on DVD, but I certainly didn't. And look at that block of special features. That's the stuff, isn't it? That's what you want. Yeah. Oh, one of the most eerie cliffhangers ever, I reckon, in the Sensorites, when one of the Sensorites slowly rises up to look through the spaceship window. Back in those days, before we knew that the Sensorites were quite cute and cuddly, that must have been a pretty creepy cliffhanger. And yeah, I'm really glad to get this one. I've always liked the Sensorites. I think they've always seemed kind of iconic to me as Doctor Who monsters. The Ark. Monoids. That's all I have to say about that. Monoids. Yeah. I remember the Ark having a really clever structure to it, and that's always nice. Yeah, a real gem from the Hartnell era. We've still got several DVDs left here. I really did go mad. Now, who remembers seeing this? Did anyone see this for the first time when it got repeated during a repeat season? Whose name I can't remember. It was either the 5 Faces of Doctor Who, or can anyone tell me? I'm sure you can down in comments. Please do. Yeah, I've always liked the Crotons. They kind of got that kind of Dalek-y, mechanoid type thing going on about them, but they have never been one bit as popular, which is a shame. The campaign to bring back the Crotons starts here. Now here's a gem. The Ice Warriors. Lovely, lovely, lovely. That's always nice, isn't it? That's nice, nice artwork on the cover here. So who remembers when this was like a VHS release with a CD that handled a couple of the episodes? Wow, yeah. The Ice Warriors has come a long way since then. And I wonder how different it will be, or whether it will be at all different on the Blu-ray release. Yes, really pleased to have this. I don't know why I didn't buy the original of this before. Cybermen from the Second Doctor's era. The Moon Base. Yes. Yeah. Gotta love all these old cyber stories. And I'm looking forward to revisiting this. This one features mild violence and threat, and also mild language. I wonder what's the mild language in the Moon Base? Can anyone tell me that? Was it like damn and blast? Classic Pertwee with the mind of evil. Yes. What devilish work. What a creepy tale. And of course it's got the Master in it, which is always a pleasure. It's another Rani story. God, it's hard to believe this was chosen to be the first 7th Doctor story. I don't remember this incredibly kindly, although I remember it's got some fun stuff in it with, like, you know, balls bouncing around the place, like transparent balls, and Kate O'Mara's great as the Rani, and Kate O'Mara is great full stop. Right, lastly, for the single releases, it's the Time Meddler. Another bit of Hartnell, bit of First Doctor action there with that pesky meddling monk. Honestly, I would have got away with it too if it hadn't been for you meddling monks. Right, we've only got 2 box sets left to get through, so let's have a look. Yeah, the Space Museum and the Chase. What a lovely combination. Now, if I'm honest, I can't remember too much about the Space Museum, but I gather that even people who've seen it recently try their best to forget having seen it. I bought this mainly for the Chase, if I'm honest. I've always really loved the Chase. I love that kind of episodic element of it being like a different thing every week pretty much, and the Daleks chasing the Doctor and his crew through time, and the mechanoids. I've always loved mechanoids since those early kind of Dalek comic strips in the annuals. And so, yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to cracking this one open and going on that chase again. I wonder if Bradley Walsh might appear in it as a guest star. Bit of British TV humour there. Lastly, a cracker. It is the Peladon Tales. Now, admittedly, I know what you're going to say, yeah, only half of this is a cracker really. It's the Curse of Peladon is one of my all-time favourite Doctor Who stories, and probably my favourite John Pertwee story, because it's got so much atmosphere going on in that. It's just a wonderful story, and it's such a monster mash as well, so many different monsters. I've seen the Monster of Peladon less, like most people have, but nevertheless it is time for me to revisit it and to kind of judge whether it's as bad or as lacking as a lot of people seem to think it is. Yeah. Look at all this lot then. I'm really glad I saved up for this, because it is nice to give HMV a wedge of money. Because to be honest with you, I used to be pretty much like most people. I would go to HMV and I would often buy things, but I would also tend to check the prices on Amazon and then sometimes buy stuff on Amazon when I got home. Sometimes that's just the sad reality of being forced to get the best price you can. But you know, since lockdown I've really wanted to change my ways on that score and just buy stuff in HMV. If something's a quid or two more than on Amazon, then I'm willing to pay that to help keep HMV's lights on. So get down there in comments, tell me which is your favourite thing of all these things I've bought. And also, if you're so inclined, tell me which is your least favourite thing out of all these things that I've bought. Yes, I'd love to hear from you, and let's have a chat. Oh, and I did promise to select one of my purchases as my favourite, and it's this, the first ever Ice Warriors story. What a classic. I also promised to give you a before and after shot, so here are my shelves before the spree, and here they are after. Yes, that looks a lot better. Thank you so much for watching this far. I hope to see you next time, and until then, don't forget to embrace your obsession.